Okay, we're going to go through some of the different fire making tools that we have to our disposal for this review. We've got a plain old Bic lighter. We've got a blast match made by Ultimate Survival Technologies. We've got a sort of a cheap match from a survival kit. We've got a nicer match from a survival kit. We've got an old Boy Scout Flint that I've used a couple of times. I used a bunch of those up in my life so far though. We've got some tinder, basically some stuff to help with these flints to make them catch fire. We've got the old Magnesium style with the flint built in. This one's had a little use. We've got a raw piece of flint there. We've got a smaller blast match made by Ultimate Survival Technologies. It's kind of a new item. Works pretty neat. We've got the old Swiss style, which is basically just a beefed up version of the Scout version. And then we've got the Tool Logic, which has a flint built into it. So not a lot of technology here, but there's lots of different ways to use these, and let's take a look at how some of them work and which work better or worse. So I guess we'll start out with the matches, sort of the bottom of the technology. Everybody's had matches. These are basically box matches that you'd get in a store. I'll just light one to demonstrate. It's sort of windy out here. We're in the cold, and they come with a little striker. Obviously you can do some things to try to keep a match lit, but with this style match it's just not happening. So at least, like I said, they give you a striker with this little kit, but they are dropping out fishing hooks here. Really just going through the paces with this one. There's not a lot of technology behind it. On the other hand, this one, a little bit fancier match. You can tell there's a little bit more striking surface, or a little bit more match surface there. They've got two caps. They got the one cap where you can get to your matches, which is neat and seals enough that it would probably keep some water out. The other cap is just covering the striker, which is handy because that striker gets wet and it basically just makes your match wet. Light that with one light, and you got some time here to actually get a fire going. So if I would have had some tinder going and had something in mind, probably would have had some time to get it going. Even in mild wind that we've got out right now, did a pretty good job of burn time. So a little bit nicer matches, but still matches. Those come along in the SOL kit, which is the Survive Outside Longer, which is a kit from Adventure Medical, and the matches come along with this tinder. I usually use this tinder with some sort of a flint and steel, but it would work well to get a fire going with that match, obviously. Let's start with the basics of flint. We've got the first one here, which is just a plain old piece of flint, and basically you could use it as a replacement or a make your own sort of handle for it. I'm just going to take a knife and throw some spark out. Again, there's no handle for it, so even though it's small and it would fit into just about any survival pack, and it'll last quite a while. Just need a knife with it. It'll do the job for starting at the simple end. Magnesium, a lot of people have seen these before, but not everybody uses them the same way. Not spending a lot of time here, but basically I like to use the backside of a knife and shave off some of the magnesium, get a small pile of magnesium going, and if I can do it right, we'll throw that spark down into the magnesium, and what'll happen is that magnesium catches one of these sparks, and if I would have taken the time to put that down in a better place, it would have sparked up a little bit. Not that the magnesium tool isn't good, it just didn't have a lot of prep time here, and I'm doing it in a stupid spot. If I would have done that into a nice little piece of cotton or some fried up grasses or some dry wood, I would have done a pretty good job of starting a fire there. We've got some of this tinder, which I'll show you in a second, which doesn't make me look like an idiot like this does. We've got a Swiss tool here, which does have a handle. Same concept, just a bigger piece of flint. Comes with its own little striker, which you saw with my knife there. I did it a couple times with the blade and then figured out I didn't need to hack my blade up. So I started using the back, like a smart guy. And this one comes with this piece of stuff. So it says up and not up, so it's pretty easy to figure out that they want you to use the sharper edge. And again, it'll throw out some sparks. Notice though that even though we've gone to a more comfortable, a little easier to use item here, we're still kind of randomly throwing sparks around. My Scout one, give that some credit, even though it's old and little, it's really nothing more than a smaller version of this. I've been using this since I was a kid. Pretty much any pocket knife, and again, you're just throwing spark out. If you had some tinder, or if you had some magnesium, makes that work a little bit better. We've got a Tool Logic here. Again, same concept. They come with their own little striker though, their own little blade. The blade has some rough surface here, and that rough surface is there to use their striker. So again, you've got plenty of surface to hold on to. Real ingenious there, in my opinion. And again, you can throw some real spark because you got a good grip on the striker, you got a good grip on the tool. Now you're going to wear through this pretty good using such a aggressive striker. But again, they're a step ahead of you. You can take out this little screw that you probably can't see because of the quality of our video, but that flint will come out and you can replace it with a new one. So pretty nice tool. The tool's going to last longer than the striker, or excuse me, than the flint. They knew that, and they let you replace it. We're getting up to the newer stuff. Of course, there's a flint going on here with some butane to back it up. Everybody knows Bics. They last a long time. They're great lighters. Big issue is you get this wet and it's not really going to help you too much. So most people keep this in their kit, but you know, when you get to extreme situations, it's not really going to be your first thing to grab. But something that might be your first thing to grab is this blast match. These things are cool. They were developed for downed pilots. Again, I could use this with gloves on. Really just, there's this spring-loaded piece of flint, big piece of flint with a cap. It can get soaking wet if it needs to. It's just designed in this little case with a lanyard loop, so you can keep it handy in your kit. You just sort of smash that cap off. It opens up, and the reason it springs back and forth is your steel is right in there. You don't need a knife or anything. Just lots of spark. Now, I'm not giving this thing justice. If you watch the guys that demo these, who work with them, they can really blow some sparks out of there, but I'm totally untrained and novice using it, and I'm just smashing down and getting plenty of spark. Big difference between that and the random flint is that while this spark goes out, it sort of goes random. You can get better with it, but this, you're an instant expert. Lots of spark. Their newer ones are basically the same thing, just a little smaller. They're all self-contained. Again, instant expert. I've used this thing all of about however many times I smashed it there. I watched the guy demo it a few times at SHOT Show. So, monkey could do it. Don't give these to a monkey.